BeCozi.net is here. I am the creator of the hand knitting style back in 2015, and I am a owner of BeCozi company, and we are the biggest supplier of chunky Chenille yarn and a few different chunky yarns. You can find them at BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com, BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com. And today I will be using our beautiful 3 colors of chunky Chenille yarn: cloud, white, and misty green. Gorgeous colors, and they look amazingly beautiful on this new pattern that I created. This will be basket weave, which I already showed how to make before, but this one is a basket weave with a twist. We will be separating basket weaves or baskets or squares with this white color in the middle, and I will show you how to do it. Gorgeous blanket. The blanket is 40 by 60, a little bit longer than 60 because we're using white. So we will be using 3 skeins of cloud gray, 3 skeins of misty green, and 1 skein of white. So it will be 7 skeins, and depending how tight you're knitting, it will be about 40 by 60. So if you have our yarn ready, let's get started. Okay, guys, let's get started. So we will use our cloud, misty green, and white colors. So cloud and misty green will be main colors, white will be in the middle. So when we are ready to start, place the cloud gray in front of you like that. This is working yarn, this is the tail. And place working yarn on the top of the tail like this. You made a first loop, and now insert your hand inside this loop, grab working yarn and pull it out. This is your first stitch, pull it up, and these 2 strings pull down. So here we are. Leave this on a little bit on the looser side. I will show you later why. And now pull working yarn down to make a stitch a little bit smaller. We need this stitch about maybe a little bit more than 1 inch high or tall. We now will be casting on 25 stitches. So I will cast on. I will show you how to cast on. So you're taking your first stitch, holding it on the bottom, and then insert your finger, grab working yarn, and pull it out. You now have 2 stitches. Press the button, insert your hand, grab working yarn, pull it out. And then keep doing this way until you have 25 stitches, and make sure that all stitches are about the same size, and they need to be a little bit on the looser side. So they should be about at least 1 inch wide or tall, because that will give you a beautiful chain on the bottom. Again, 25 stitches, that will give you a size of 40 inches wide. And we will be making it about 60, a little bit over 60 inches long. So it will be medium size, 40 by 62, 65, depending how tight you're knitting. Let's count our stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what are we doing now? This was 26. What are we doing now? We are turning this on the opposite side, flipping it over, and this is, I'm doing it because I will be using this middle part of the stitch, and that will give you this beautiful chain on the bottom. If you just keep it like that and knit or pull out these stitches, it will be okay. What you will have this kind of like a snaky looking bottom. Okay, so that will be on the bottom of your blanket. If you just cast on and started knitting these stitches, top of the stitch, and in our case we flip it, we're using middle part of the stitch, and then you will have this chain on the bottom. I'm doing it this way because it's more beautiful. So this is our cast on chain. Now this is first stitch. Insert your fingers, grab working yarn and pull it out to make your first stitch. So now we will be using middle part of the stitch to pull out the first row. So insert your finger, pull it and kind of lift it, then insert your fingers, grab working yarn and pull it out. This is your second stitch. And try to make all stitches of the same height. Now find second stitch, it's in the middle over here, middle part, grab working yarn, pull it out. Next stitch, not the top, not the bottom, middle part. Lift, insert your hand, pull it out. Keep doing it until you pull out the whole row. This is our first row. The cast on is, I'm not counting as a row because that is our cast on and chain on the bottom. And then when we cast off the blanket, we will have cast off chain on the top of the blanket. So this is our first row, and I always start pattern from the second row because this way it's easier and you can see the pattern really nicely forming when you are doing it. So here we are, we're almost done with our 25 stitches. See, I'm trying to make them all of the same height. Here's our last one. And here is, remember I told you, make that first stitch a little bit on the looser side. Because see now this first stitch is usually staying a little bit bigger than it should. So now you can just pull your yarn and you can make it smaller like that. Here you go. Now it will look nice. So what do we do now? Now we are knitting, we are starting to knit our pattern, guys, okay? And our pattern is quite easy. 5 knit, 5 purl. So here we are. Let's knit. So insert your fingers and first stitch, grab working yarn, pull it out. You just knitted first stitch. The same way, insert your finger, grab working yarn, pull it out. Now 5 stitches are knitted like that. What I do now? Now you're purling 5 stitches. You're placing your yarn up front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. List the stitch, take this working yarn and pull it through the stitch. See, this is how you purl your stitch. Take the stitch and push the yarn through the stitch like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have now 5 purled. See the difference? The knitting stitch create a chain looking stitch. The purl stitch has the bump on the top of that chain stitch. So now we will be knitting 5 more stitches and then we will be purling 5. So here we're done with 5 knitted. Purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a stitch, push yarn through, and keep doing it for 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we have 5 more stitches and we are knitting these stitches. So when we are done with this row, we will repeat this pattern for 7 rows, guys, okay? 7 rows. We have 5 stitches, but we're knitting 7 rows. Why we are doing it? Because, let me show you first here. So here's our first stitch. Starting this row, we will be skipping it, okay? The reason we're skipping it because we're trying to create this beautiful chain. See the beautiful chain on the bottom? We will have the same chain on both sides when we are skipping first stitch. So you're just sitting here and you're taking your second stitch and you're knitting it. And it's easy to see what stitches need to be knitted because they look like a chain. These stitches with bump in the middle, they're purled, so you are purling them. Take a stitch, push yarn through, and do it 5 more times. So that's what I will be doing, guys. And as I said, I will be doing it for 7 rows. Why 7 rows? Because that will give us a square. And that is our goal. Basket weave, it's squares, and in order to have 5 stitches looking like a square, we need to knit 7 rows. So when I'm done with 7 rows, which will be in a few rows, because I already have 1, 2, 3, I'll be back and I will show you what to do next. Okay, guys, we're back, and I made 7 rows, as I told you. So you can see already that these parts, they look square. So if you would have only 5 rows for 5 stitches, it will not be square. So always add a few more rows when you're making a basket weave, more rows than stitches. So here we are. Now we're taking our white yarn, and we are cutting this yarn, and I'm showing you how to connect it by cutting and burning. You can also make a simple knot, but we will be actually doing it by burning. So here's our last stitch. We are cutting yarn pretty close to it, so it's about probably ½ inch tail. And now take your white yarn that you will be connecting and start, and see, it's kind of curling, so we will cut it and make it even on the side and start burning it, okay? And you can burn 1 or you can burn 2. It doesn't really matter. It will connect pretty good regardless, okay? So here we are. And now we are pushing yarn toward each other and then holding it for a few seconds. And then you start rubbing it together to connect it nicely. We're waiting for a few seconds because it's really hot. Don't burn yourself. Here we are, we connected it. And now we will be knitting our next row. We are knitting 3 rows in white color. The first row will be a simple knitting stitch because we want a clear end over here when we're switching color. That's why we connected it so close, because this first stitch need to be white. So make a first stitch and try to keep that connection side on the back. See, I'm keeping it between the stitches over here. So now simply knit this row, and the reason we are knitting it even here when we purled before, because we want a clear change of color. If you purl here, you will have white yarn on the top and gray in the middle. We are trying to avoid it, and that's why we are knitting this white row all the way through 25 stitches, and then we will purl our next 2. So you have 3 rows of white, first row knitted because we want clear change of color, and 2 next rows we will purl to create the beautiful kind of like a border looking white color that you see on the finished blanket. So here we are, we knitted our last one, and now we are purling the next row. And again, we knitted this last one because we want white on the side. The same as here, we knitted this white first stitch. We didn't skip it, but now we will actually skip it. Here you go. The reason I skip it, because if I purl it, this stitch will, if we purl it, let's do it. So knitted, the last, if I purl this stitch, it will not look good. See, we already have this chain forming here. If we purl the first stitch, it will have this bump. It will not look good. That is why I'm keeping this first stitch. I'm skipping it, and then when you're going to the next one, we are purling it. The same way as I showed you here. Take a stitch, push yarn through, and do it for the whole row. The same as I showed you at just beginning of this row. We will do at the beginning of the third row when we go from the left to the right. See, we knitted this first row where stitches were purled, and that's now we have this beautiful change of colors. So here we are, our second row is ready. Do not purl the stitch, knit it, because we are creating the beautiful chain on the side. And now we're purling next row, starting with the second stitch. So when I'm done with this row, I'll be back and show you what to do next. Okay, guys, so we just made second row in purl stitch, and here's our last row. We are knitting it again, okay? And again, because we're trying to have this chain, beautiful chain on the side. Okay, so what are we doing now? We are cutting our white yarn again, just about ½ inch from this stitch, and we are taking our misty green color. We are switching the color from cloud to white to misty green. So the same way, I will burn the end, and I usually burn the end only on one side, and then connect the yarn, push it toward each other, wait for a few seconds, and then start rubbing those two ends that connected together. So here we are, we connected our misty green, and now we will be switching. So you see the pattern here was 5 knitted, 5 purled. Now we're switching. There will be 5 purled and 5 knitted over here. So we are knitting 5, actually 4, because no, actually 5, because we need to change the color. So this is the only time when we're knitting first stitch, because we are switching color and we want it to be switched. So white is staying here, and then we're going to misty green. And now we need this is purl. So here is the trick. When we have purl stitch, in order for it to look good, we need to knit the first row when we're switching color. And the reason the same as here when we switch into white, because this way the change in color will be nice and clean. If we purled this first row of misty green, that is how it will look. See, green and white in the middle. So when you're switching between squares with the new color, and there will be white 3 rows in between every switch of colors, you are knitting first row. Remember, we knitted first row here for white, and now we're knitting first row for changing the color. And only after that, we will start our pattern of 5 stitches of different patterns, so meaning knit and purl, and don't count this row. You will still need 7 rows, okay? So 5 stitches, 7 rows, then 3 rows of white, first knitted, 2 purled, and now 1 row of misty green, all knitted. Now we're skipping the stitch to keep the beautiful chain, and now see, we're knitted here, so we need to purl this 4. Purl, 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 purl. And here we purled, it means that here we will knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then do the same for the next 3 squares. We knitted here, we're purling here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We purled here, we're knitting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last, but not the least, we knitted here, we're purling here. So that is the pattern, guys. That is how we will be making this gorgeous blanket. Last one we knitted for, we purled for, last one is knitted in order to create the chain on the side. So now I will keep knitting 6 more rows, because remember, every square is 7 rows, and that row of switching color is not counted because it kind of is hiding between this white. So when I'm done with 7 rows, I will switch to white the same way I switched here. I will make the same 3 rows after misty green, and those 3 rows will be first knitted, 2 purled. Then I will switch back to the cloud color after this misty green and white, and the same way I will start with first row knitted. Here we are. Okay, so then I will be alternating this way until I use all my yarn, and then I will come back and I will show you what to do next. Yeah. Okay, guys, we are done, and I'm finishing it up so you can see this beautiful color combination. This is our cloud white and misty green, and now we are finishing it up or casting off. For casting off, you need to leave 4 widths of the blanket. You're taking the yarn and measuring from this side to this side 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it will be enough for you to finish it, okay? To finish it, to start finishing, I'm always knitting the first stitch to create beautiful turn of the yarn. So then you're inserting your fingers inside this last stitch, take next stitch, and you have 2 stitches on your hand. Now grab working yarn and pull it through these 2 stitches. The same to the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and pull yarn through 2. See this beautiful turn over here because I created 1 extra stitch? So that is how it's gonna be. You are knitting 2 stitches at a time, creating this beautiful chain on the top, the same chain as we have on the bottom, and you are starting the chain to cast off after you have 7 rows of in this case misty green, because it should be square. Okay, so try not to miss any stitches, kind of double check, look on the back, because if you do miss one, you need to go back and fix it. See, no stitches left. Move your blankie and keep knitting 2 stitches at a time, casting off this beautiful, super soft blanket. And then when you have just 1 stitch ready and left here we go. So 2 last stitches, you're making your last stitch, insert this tail inside the last stitch and pull, and here we are. We just finished our blanket. Now this yarn goes underneath this chain and then coming out up front, go on the back again like that. So here we have this little bump here because I made a knot. If you don't want to make a knot, you can simply tuck it in, and if you don't want this to come out when you're using the blanket, what you're doing, you're burning this end and then attach it to any yarn on the back like that. See, and then you don't even see where it is. And then you can do the same on the other side over here, which I did already. You just tuck it in and weave in the end. So this is our gorgeous blanket. It's ready. So this yarn is available at BeCozi.com, BeCozi.net. When you're making it or using our yarn, if you're posting on social media, please tag BeCozi and stay warm and be cozy. Hey guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. I would like to introduce you my second book. The second book, Hand Knitting 102, it was published on November 25, 2025, and it's available to purchase on our website BeCozi.net, BeCozi.com. It's also available on Amazon. It's also available on Amazon as a downloadable version if you want, a Kindle. And if you want the real book, it's available again on our website and on Amazon. In this book, I'm showing new patterns and a few old patterns. It's as usual, it's very detailed, it's very easy to understand what I'm doing. Very unique patterns where you can, those that you cannot find anywhere else. And again, this book is available. Go get it. And this is the best gift for yourself or your loved one.